Hey, welcome into the Halos in the Infield postgame show. That is the Sunday night football theme because as I look at it right now, it is September. It is another failed season. It is a lot of injuries. It's a lot to comprehend this season and take in. It's been one hell of a roller coaster season. Thank you, training staff. Thank you, Joe Madden. There's just been a plethora of problems that have followed this Angels season and the team through 2021. We hope that things are better in 2022. There's a lot of signs pointing upward, but for right now, it is what it is, and we got through another game tonight where the Angels took on the Texas Rangers and beat the Rangers 3-2. Shohei Ohtani showed out, no pun intended, got his 9th win of the season tonight. So we fully expect he's going to have double digits. I'm saying 11, maybe 12 wins by the time the season's over, which should cement him as MVP and could get him in the Cy Young really last minute. And I think that helping is him hitting all them damn home runs. I'm thinking he should hit about 52, maybe 53 to end the season, but we'll see. A big win here tonight. I'm going to get over some of the latest news. I'm going to get into the comments and everything. Don't even worry about that. First things first, though. 2 runs scored early in the first inning, and that was Walsh with a single to score Gosselin. Also, Gosselin single to score in Fletcher. So the guys got on base early, and you thought the Angels were going to get into a really good start and finish this one out. And they did, but 2-0 didn't last too long because the Angels can't hold a lead for more than a half inning, which they didn't in this one. A 2-run homer by Martin tied it up at 2, and it stayed that way till the 6th inning before the Angels got an infield single by Stassi, scoring in Marsh from third, and the Angels were able to hold on and get the victory. Raciel does Raciel things, and there you go. Anthony Henson says real quick, and that's why pitching wins ball games. What up, ToddFox? What is up, Anthony? My brother from another mother. I love that guy, Anthony Henson Jr. or Senior. I'm sorry. He is the man. By the way, pitching does win championships, just like defense wins championships. In baseball, you need pitching, and there's no doubt why Manassian went out there and got 20 pitchers in the offseason, or not the offseason, the draft, and then you got pitchers galore coming through the minor league system right now. So we're really excited about that. A couple things as far as news goes real quick. Sam Bachman, one of the players they drafted, is going to be slated as a starter. A lot of people thought, man, why are we wasting a first-round draft pick on a reliever? Well, that's not the case. He's going to be a starter this season or next season. So look for Bachman. If he does not make a late September call-up, most likely he's a non-roster invitee to spring training. And then there's a really good chance if he balls out there, because he's the closest one of the prospects so far of making a major league roster because of his stuff, he could be pitching next year in the bullpen maybe to start, because I don't think, unless if they really want to make him a starter, he's going to start with AAA Salt Lake or maybe the Trash Pandas because of the better ballparks to pitch in and in AA. So we'll have to see. That's one thing to look at. The other thing, the big news today was, listen, this team has had trouble with the shortstop position since Eckstein has left. Let's just be plain and simple about that. I mean, they had some success there with I'm blanking on his name. He came over from Montreal. I used to love that dude. God, what is his name? I'm sure you guys will remind me in the notes or whatever in the comments. But anyway, you really haven't had a really good shortstop here since those Vlad days and Eckstein prior. Simmons was good here defensively. He never lived up to the hype hitting wise. And I think that's the thing, that guys like Artie, who drink a lot of scotch and a lot of rum, they really want to pay for someone that's going to hit a lot of home runs, because chicks dig the long ball, and so does Artie Moreno. And I think that's the thing. He wants to get a power hitting shortstop in here, and look what the free agent class is going to give us next season. A bunch of freaking shortstops and a bunch of money that's going to come off the books that Artie's going to try to implore Manassian to go out and get a shortstop. And look what happened today. Iglesias, not Raciel, but Jose Iglesias, which at times Angel fans have been conflicted. Sometimes they like him, sometimes they hate him. And then there's just somewhere in the middle, because he is a good ball player. He was a good clubhouse guy from what we could see. But however, he never really hit too many home runs like we thought he would. And he did not drive in the runs like we thought he would. He did not get on base. And listen, Anthony Henson's saying, hey, we wish Iglesias all the best. Yes, we do. He's likely going to get in on a playoff roster. He's that good. He's going to be a good defensive backup and maybe a fringe player here and there during the playoffs, maybe against lefties. But my problem with Iglesias was he never quite got on base. He never took walks. He was a super aggressive hitter, and especially with runners in scoring position, he had a low average, and he would pop up a lot. I like the guy. I really did. He made a little bit more errors than I thought he would this season, but his aggressiveness kind of bit him in the butt. His numbers could have been way higher, and I think Artie's going to spend on a guy like Marcus Semien, like a guy like Kyle Seager, like a guy like Correa. Correa, I know Angel fans don't want to think about that, but I'm telling you, you might hate him in that month of April, but when May's coming around and he's kind of leading the league in his position with home runs and RBIs and a good batting average, I'm pretty sure you're going to warm up to him. So with that being said, Iglesias was let go. My opinion on the whole thing, I did a video earlier right when it happened or like a little bit after it happened. I really think that something happened internally. I think something happened where he is not buying into what Joe Madden is preaching. He maybe stepped up and said something he shouldn't, or he was like, insubordinate, because you don't just release a player like that unless you have a really good reason to. And the only reason why last year, which I still feel bad for trashing Simba, because I thought that he quit on the team. That was the moniker. The team never stuck up for him. No one ever said, hey, Simmons is going through something right now. Give him some space. He needs time off. They didn't even have to say he had suicidal thoughts, which we found out this season. They should have just said, hey, you know what? He's having some personal issues. He needs to take time off. And Angel fans would be good with that, and they would have accepted that. But the Angels brass left that out there as, hey, you know what? This guy quit on the team. They weren't trying to step on it and say, hey, man, no, stop that. Don't say that. He just needs some time. They never said that. And I think Epler failed the organization. Dennis Kuhl failed Simmons. They did not stick up for their boy, and I feel bad for Andrelton Simmons. He just did not fit in here. He was having a bad season. He's not having the greatest season this year. We wished him the luck, just like Anthony Henson wished Iglesias the luck and future holdings for him. Hopefully he gets better. But dude, he just never fit this squad. And I think something internally happened a la days with Jose Guillen, where Guillen got himself kicked off the roster. If he was in the freaking playoffs that year, they beat the Astros and go to the World Series. That is my belief. They beat the White Sox, and then beat the Astros. But with that being said, I think Iglesias got himself off this team. I think something happened, and I don't know if we'll hear about it now. It'll probably be later, but hey, that's that. Real quick news on the Angels real quick. This was brought to my attention by a friend today. The news is not good about the Angels in the lawsuit with Tyler Skaggs as well. Tyler Skaggs, unfortunately, is going to be dragged through the court system. Artie should have did the right thing and paid off his wife and the mom and let it go. Now it's going to be a really bad look for the Angels organization at the worst possible time. They're going to court right when the freaking winter meetings and the free agency starts. And today the Angels refused to allow the documents to be seen in court. So that's going to be a separate battle on the side to release the documents of the players that were involved and the rest of the names in the organization that we're going to be able to see the fingers being pointed at. So that's the frustrating thing, that this news is going to be public for everyone to see. Dodger fans are going to be loving that. Yankee fans, everyone's going to be pointing fingers, especially I've been hearing stuff from the Astros like, hey, we cheated the game, but, you guys had drug dealing going on in your freaking, backyard, in your freaking locker room. So it's just a really, really bad look. It's not like Artie doesn't have the money to pay him off. I know it sounds bad saying you're paying off someone after something like that happens, but hey, there's two sides to look at it. You got to protect the organization, the name on the chest, and you will have to take care of the family, which, yes, you were negligible, but you didn't shove the pills down his throat, but you made it readily available in your house. So, again, I see both sides of the story. I see the addiction part, which he should have, someone should have saw something and stepped up and put him in rehab. And I see the other part where the team that should have been protecting him from those opioids and everything else was readily just having it available. And so that's where I think that they are negligible, and they really they should have just let this take care of it. You want to start new, Artie, you want to get back on the graces of the good fans and everything else like that, do that, and it just sucks. Anthony also says, another black guy for our Halos. Drop the ball on that one. Pay the family. I totally agree, and we're going to get into the other comments. That was just the ones on Facebook. Thank you again, Anthony, for checking in, and a few others that are watching over there on Facebook. Year-long comic says, Halos, and Raul says, let's go. Nick Tukulin says the two-way Japanese import is 9-1. He is playing his ass off right now. There is not a better pitcher right now. If you look at his numbers since the first, I'd say April and May, when he was walking guys consistently, high pitch counts, he was not lasting long into games. Now, if you look at what he's been doing, that split finger is not his prominent pitch. It's now his fastball curve, which is setting up his slider and split finger, and that is making him dangerous. His runs per game, he's averaging just 2.5 runs giving up a game right now. He's pitching his ass off. And besides that start that he had in New York, his ERA might be a flat line too. So that just goes to show you right now, because he's close to a 3 ERA, but I'm saying since then his ERA is sub 3, almost 2 or less. He's been pitching really, really good. And it's no coincidence that poor Shohei, his only 2 poor outings this year happened in New York and Baltimore. And what was the case for both of those games? High humidity, and he was sweating like a dog, and I could tell he was not comfortable in those situations. Let's see. Rendon's meme says, I'm back. All right, cool to have you back. Yvette says, no Buttercup tonight. That's because Rasil was on the mound. That's why. Rob says, so you're saying there's still a chance? Not really. That's why I was playing the football music. Breaking from Rendon memes were not effed quite yet. Yeah, there you go. Nats fan says, that was a fun game to watch tonight. It was a good pitching matchup. Shohei is a workhorse, Chase says. Ortiz says, I'm amazed we're close to 500 with all the injuries we've incurred. And so are we. We are really amazed and really blown away how this team can kind of keep it together. We want to give credit to Madden, and we also want to credit some of the players that have been stepping up. And that's good to see, but the problem is, guys and girls out there, that this team just doesn't do it on a nightly basis. You see the potential in this team to do this on a nightly basis, but they tend to revert. So you'll see a couple really good games, and then you'll just see them swinging for the fences. And they were honestly swinging for the fences tonight. But the thing that saved him was Shohei Ohtani. Shohei Ohtani didn't have the greatest at-bats tonight either, but he was pitching his ass off, keeping his team in the game. And when you only give up 2 runs, more than likely you can win a game. And that's what happened tonight. They just edged out that final 3rd run in the 6th inning, and there it was, 3-2. Anthony says also, I think Shohei finishes with 13 wins and 50 home runs. So I got you on that one. That was pretty good right there. Yvette says, fire Artie. I can't see anyone else being the problem in the organization. Goodbye, Havana Magic, Yvette says. Yep, he did not last this entire time. James says, is that a Shaq jersey? No, it's a Penny Hardaway jersey. It is a Penny. Vlad's called it right there. Ace says, I was over there with Jose Iglesias when he ran over to Fletcher at second base. I was over his lack of game awareness. 2 errors last Friday's Angels-Padres game really pissed me off. Yeah, that's the thing. He's been not steady. So, I mean, the one thing we thought Iglesias was going to bring to this team was just the freaking defense, and his defense was very lackluster this year. I mean, he had some shades of brilliance. He just did some some on his stomach, like rolling the ball over to Fletcher, behind the back stuff. I mean, that stuff's all great, but when you're making key errors and then lackadaisical throws at home when you could throw somebody out, yeah, I think people tend to remember those more than the freaking flashy ESPN moves. Don says, love how Ohtani has pitched. He's been great and has been amazing, but I think Garrett Cole will win the Cy Young. I don't think Ohtani has enough wins. That is true. The wins might hurt him right there. I do think, though, that in one sense, these writers will take into consideration this is one of the greatest seasons by one player, better than Babe Ruth. You cannot compare Babe Ruth to what Shohei Ohtani's playing, because Babe Ruth wasn't playing guys who were wearing Under Armour and who had their own guys to help work them out on personal trainers, all these vitamins, supplements. They were facing plumbers and guys who smoked in the dugout. So Babe Ruth, different time, great for his era, but Shohei's on another freaking level. Big 20 Hammer says the football team I was watching tonight for high school varsity game lost, but I know Big Hammer's team is 3-0, so there you go. It was not Romine. There it is. Ace always nails it right there. It was Orlando Cabrera. I missed Orlando Cabrera. And Don Hammond also checks in with Eric Ibar. I forgot how good Eric Ibar was. One thing that I always like to bring up when I talk about Eric Ibar, forget the way he hit, forget the way he was in the clubhouse, forget the way that he played defense, because that was all great. I think the biggest contribution I ever saw Eric Ibar give to this team was that when the pitching coaches didn't have the balls to come out to talk to a pitcher or the manager or anything else like that, Eric Ibar would always walk up when the catcher would go up and talk to the pitcher, and he put his arm around him and just listen into what the catcher was saying to the pitcher. When the catcher turned around, Eric Ibar also whispered something into his glove to the pitcher and patted him on the back. It didn't matter who the pitcher was, but Eric Ibar always gave a piece of advice. What it is, I don't know. I would love to interview him and ask him what he would say, but it seemed like every time, and even Eric Ibar, I would see when the pitcher was frustrated, when go to the rosin bag, Ibar would sprint over to him, tell him something, pat him on the back, and go back to his position. I thought that was the most underrated thing, because more times than not, when he would do something like that, the pitcher would get out of it. And it was just the little things like that you wish this team would adopt more and have more. So if we had more players like Eric Ibar, like the Orlando Cabreras, those guys that were staples on the infield, I think this team would be 100 times better. That's just me. You need a good leader, and shortstop is a good position to have a leader at. James says Orlando Cabrera. Big 20 says Johnny G. Johnny G was okay, but he was not like that. Matt Bedingo says, with the Angels releasing Jose Iglesias, it's looking like they will be everything eyeing a shortstop, Correa Seager. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking right there. Don says Corey Seager for the win right there. Seager is injury prone. I agree with that, Vlad. That is why I am going for Semien. I really want Marcus Semien. If we're going to take a shot at a shortstop, let's make it happen. Let's see. Yvette says Joe showing emotion in the energy is what we need. Absolutely, Yvette, because you have energy on a team. The team feeds off of it. The crowd feeds off of it. You saw what happened when Adele made that catch a few weeks ago, and he was just like to himself. He blanked out everybody, and he just yelled like a football player that just scored a touchdown or hit the quarterback. He was awesome in that game, and the fans loved it. So that's the kind of energy we need. Nice to see small ball getting it done tonight. Light that baby up, Anthony says. And that's the thing. You continue to play small ball. You work with what you have. Stop acting like everyone in that lineup has 34 home runs. Play to your ability and play to what makes you get to the major leagues. Gosselin didn't get to the major leagues to hit 40 homers. But when he lays down a bunt, when he swings the other way, when he takes a good pitch, works a count, gets a 2-2 slider over the middle, and shoots it up the gap for an RBI single, that's why we got you. The occasional power happens to everybody. Sometimes you just, like Marsh, when he hit those 2 or 3 home runs in consecutive days, he was just putting the barrel on the bat. And when you put the barrel on the bat, sometimes good things happen. Sometimes you hit it over the wall, and that's what happened. Don Hammond says, I don't want one of those other shortstops other than Semien. There you go. The fielding was off Jose, which he has never done before. Yeah, he's had a bad year. Grillmaster says, hey, the Angels win. Rob says, don't hate Correa if he's an Angel. If you're not cheating, you're not trying. You know, that is the old adage. And you know what? When it comes to baseball, you know, cheating has been part of the game the whole time. I know what the Astros did was on another freaking level. We all know that. But yes, cheating is part of the game. Why do you think they cover their faces so that you can't read their lips? Because you're trying to steal a sign. You know, it's in the rules to steal a sign. That's what you want to do. But I get what you guys are saying. Trouta here says, release Rendon. I don't think that's going to happen. They have over 200 million reasons why they can't do that. Matt Bedingo says, yeah, I doubt that. I think fans will still hate on Correa, and I think they will too. Grillmaster says, I want to go back to Simmons in the offseason, or do we overpay for Seager? That's the problem. I really don't want to overpay for a shortstop at all. I want to see if we can get an ace first. I think that's priority number one. An ace to go along with Ohtani and along with Sandoval and Suarez and whoever gets that 5th spot, whether it's Detmers, who, another piece of Angel news, he's back on the team today, so apparently the COVID issues are over, and we'll see if he can get another start or 3 by the time the end of the season will happen here. Let's see. Mayfield just took his playing time, and Jose wanted to play. That's what I think happened. I can see that, but I just can't see the Angels just up and releasing him. They're not that nice. In the end, it's a business. And so we'll see. But maybe you're right, but I'm thinking that there's something that happened because of the track record of the Angels. Correa isn't coming to the Angels. Trouta here says, Angels brass is slow every single thing. Watch Jose Iglesias go to the Dodgers like Albert did. You never know, dude. But where would they put him? Let's see. Trouta here says, yeah, and stuck paying with him, and his money might be well to get rid of that shit. Yvette says, I'll take Correa for the team right now. He has a win me or over with his attitude, or he's won me over with his attitude. I'm sorry, Yvette. You know what? He's a good player. I mean, he's a constant professional. That's what you want. Do we hope that Artie loses his court case? No, we hope that he makes a payment, because if he doesn't, the court case is going to be pretty bad. And for what I've heard from Angels insiders, from baseball insiders, the Skaggs family has an ironclad thing that, like, even if they don't get the money that they want, they're going to win. They have enough evidence. And the problem is all the dirty laundry is going to be spewed out all over the internet, and it's going to make the Angels look really bad. So, I mean, if Artie cannot be that freaking stubborn. The only thing I'm thinking is that he's trying to play his last card, which is try to get a block on the public information. Try to block that information from reaching the public. And I think if he somehow can pull it off and block it, and it just stays in court, he will fight it and he will try to win it, because that way, even if he loses, none of the stuff will come out in the open. However, there's a slight chance that if he loses that case and it will all become public record, there's a slight chance that at the 11th hour, Artie might come to his senses, stop drinking the scotch, and say, you know what? I got to pay these people off. I tried. I exhausted everything. I pushed it the furthest I could, and just let it die out, because we need to move on. And I think the families need to move on. The organization needs to move on. Hell, set up an auto pay and give to the Skaggs' funding, for their fundraising on the Skaggs' behalf. Do something like that to add a little bit on to that. It would be a good look for the organization to just put this behind everybody. It really would. Isaiah's World says, I'm watching the Dodger game. Ain't no way the Angels are on that level. They are far behind that level. In fact, I think it's 2-1 right now, or no, it's 2-2. The Giants just tied it in the bottom of the 10th. They have the winning runner at second base, so we'll see what happens here. Will Mike Trout return? Should he return? My thoughts say no. Stay home and rehab with Jessica and the baby. Well said, Anthony. I think Trout, when he walked out and they did the picture thing, they had audio on him, and he was out there doing the team photo, and he says, hey, I haven't put on a jersey in 2.5 months. You should stay home right now, Mike. And I think, Anthony, if you could send that message to him, let him know that kid is beautiful. Take care of your son. Take care of your wife. Enjoy the off season. No need to even be at the park unless you're doing more, which I think he is, than Sereno's fat ass and Jeremy Reed's Pokemon Go searching self. I think what he's doing is he's giving valuable advice to some of these young kids, and maybe that's going to be what his contribution is in the second half of this season. There's no reason to trot him out there. There's no reason to trout him out there. He does not need to play in the final month when your team is hopelessly abandoned the season and the playoffs. It just doesn't make any sense. Let's see. Well, that goes for free agency dreams. Thank you, Artie. Rob says, hopefully the training staff was involved so we can get rid of them. Dude, Rob, if we can somehow get them off this team, I think that would help exponentially. Can Artie please? No, we're not going to read that one. James says, I remember that Guillen thing. It was in 2004. He was mad at Mike Scioscia for not throwing at the other team after he got hit by the pitch. And I think they almost came to blows. They were pushing and shoving. So if I remember that right, rather have Rojas as a backup over Renifo. Anthony Rendon checks in. Rendon memes checks in with Anthony Rendon. Why isn't Rojas up here on the Angels? James says, I have no idea. Jose Guillen was sick. Vladdy's 27. That dude could play, and he really could have helped his team out. He needs to use the splitter more for my liking. That's his best pitch. Yes, Grillmaster, but he needs the other pitches to set up that splitter. In the early part of the season, he was trying to set up the other pitches with a splitter, and it was backwards. Is Junk even good, Isaiah's World? And that's the guy that they got for they literally got Junk for Heaney, which is the ongoing joke and pun. I think he's going to be something good, whether they choose to use him out of relief or not. He was starting a little bit for the Trash Pandas, so we'll see what happens, what he can give this team. I like what he can do. And I think we're going to see some good junk coming to Anaheim Stadium. Artie needs to go. He doesn't know shit anymore or care about the players. Look at the minor league team. He sucks. It sucks, Yvette says. Ohtani is 3-0 in 4 starts versus Texas this season. Fernando, Viva Los Angelitos, says Ohtani is flirting with 50 home runs, 30 stolen bases, and 10 wins. That's incredible. Grillmaster says we are now 67 and 68. Win 69 will be the nicest one of the year if we get it. There you go. Mapadingo says because they think Renifo should get a chance to play. in the big leagues, dude. I mean, look, Renifo to me is a 4A player and nothing more. He can steal bases for you. He plays solid defense. Wherever you put him, he plays good defense. It's just my thing is he's up there with a hacker's mentality, and he's never quite changed his swing. He's not relaxing, not trying to take balls, not trying to get on base, and that's been a problem. Let's see. Ace says, shout out to the infielders who put halos in the infield stickers in the center field bathrooms at the Big A. Yes, that was pretty cool. I'm glad we're getting the stickers out there. Grillmaster says, didn't like how everyone was hacking at everything in the fourth inning. Glenn Otto of Texas nearly threw an immaculate inning. If Joe Adele strikes out there, he has. That is true. Rendon Meme says, guess what? While my time gone, I have returned with a girlfriend. Rendon Memes, congratulations. You need to give us some more information. Isaiah's World says Ohtani lost a bet to his best friend, man, who's going to be outside after he hits a tank. That's the problem. I mean, there was some good chemistry right there. So, I mean, look, we'll have to see. No consistency is our motto. There you go right there. Grillmaster says the other problem I had with Jose was that he was overly aggressive, got down 0-2 way too quickly, didn't walk. Yeah, that was the thing I had too. This guy would never see too many pitches. Again, as a shortstop, you don't really necessarily need that gigantic power all the time. Sometimes you need to, and especially where he was batting for most of the year at the bottom of the order, just get on base, dude. Just get on base and give the chance for the other guys to drive you in. And I think he didn't do that enough, and I think Joe and the other guys saw it. Marsh walks. Adele can too, but not Iglesias, Grillmaster says. Rendon Meme says Babe Ruth couldn't hit 100 on the bump at the bat. There you go. Grillmaster also says, Jose we have on the team, Rojas is a good looking one. There you go. Consistent at being inconsistent. That is the model. There was no trivia. Oh, there you go. Let's see. Give me Seager or Correa, Grillmaster says. Big 20 says our varsity team plays home next week at Corona Del Mar. So that should be a good game. James says Simeon hit a grand slam to beat his former team tonight in Toronto. And I don't know if his home runs are where they were at earlier, but I think he's flirting with 30. I think he is, or he has 28, or he has something really, really good right now. I could be wrong. But for a shortstop, and this is not the first season he's hit 20 or more home runs, he's been pretty damn consistent, a little bit better in a contract year. But look, he bet on himself. He took a 1-year deal with Toronto, and look at him, dude. So I like players like that. Small ball is what I've been preaching. Yvette's been talking about that all freaking year. James says speed kills, and it does. And it broke his hand, Don Hammond says. Let's see. Sassy Classy Mate says, light that baby up, Todd. Thank you very much. Halo fan Steven says, are the $3 tickets a signal of ownership? Are they desperate to get fans? How about putting together a solid pitching staff? Yes, Steven, it is a desperate reach, and at this point, even if a solid pitching staff is put together at this point, the season's over with. So I think what they're doing right now is they're just trying to get butts in the seats, because you can sell a ticket for $1, but if you get those people in there for $1, they're going to spend 50 to 100, maybe more, on alcohol and food, and that's where the real money comes in. Right now, they haven't had a full house, I think, all year. I haven't seen a pure sellout all year, at least the games I've been to. Captain Jack or Captain Caveman, call it a fight for me. There you go, Anthony. See, Jose Marte is back too. If we get Correa, then bring in Bauer. I don't know about that one, Shrouded here, dude. That guy has been suspended again, or at least he's been sitting on another what's it called? Timeout of baseball. He's I just have a feeling he's going to be convicted in some way. The Dodgers know something. There's no freaking coincidence that most of the players unfriended him right away. The organization wants nothing to do with it, nothing to talk about it. So there's a good chance. I saw Angel's grandma on TV on the post show. There you go, Sassy Classy Marty. If you met Kyle Tyler while he was in the IE, say hi to him. He's remembered some of us today. There you go, Ace. Let's see the game, Dodgers-Giants. That's the one that's on right now. So what happens if Artie is super stubborn? Then we lose out like we've lost out 7 straight consecutive seasons. Bottom of the 10th right now. Giants battle for first place with the Dodgers. It is 2-2 with a runner at third. Come on, Giants, dude. I was kind of mad they were up 3 games, but then they ran into the damn Brewers. And then the Braves just shit themselves, as Mateo liked to say. Can it get fired? Can Artie get fired? Not by that. It would have to be in a tremendous embarrassment to Major League Baseball, and then Manfred would have to step in. I heard Rally Chris on Roger Lodge. He's cheating on you, Todd. Yeah, you know what? I'm kind of disappointed right there, Rally Chris. He's trying to get clout with our boy Roger. And I tried to get Roger on a cameo only so I could have him say what I wanted him to say. And he responded back as in, I can't say anything, Angels, which means AKA, I know what you're trying to do and you're not going to embarrass me. So, yeah, that's what happened there. Let's see. Say it isn't Rally Chris. Tisk, tisk, tisk. James says, one runner on third. There you go. I don't know how Tyler remembered me and a few of my friends, i.e. No, okay. Cishek, Bundy, Guerra needs to go next season. Lewis says, yes, they do. They need to rebuild that bullpen, which they do have some arms in that, but untested ones. They need to get the right balance of young kids that are going to fill those roles, and then also with some crafty veterans, but some good crafty veterans this time. Madi, I told you thoughts on Jose Iglesias. I think something internally happened. I know that the PC thing is to say we wanted him to succeed somewhere else because we weren't going to give him at bats. But I just think that there was too much frustration here. There was too many pop-ups, too many times leaving runners in scoring position, too many errors. So this is not what the Angels signed up for. This is not what Iglesias signed up for. I think they both had imaginations of things being better. It just never happened for whatever reason. I'm getting junk for Heaney, the white thing, or Wong. Do you want this to happen? Yes, I do, actually. Jose Rose has one more option left on the season. Yeah, that's a kid that I really don't want to see go back up and down. I think he should have never went down. He was playing really good when they sent him down. Trout said that he's been struggling with a mental health. Hope he gets better, Yvette says. I hope so, too. What a COVID-shortened season and a short season for Trout. It's going to be difficult to catch Bonds for all-time home run leader. I want Trout to catch him. Well, here's the thing, Trout, here. Trout needs to basically remain healthy the rest of his career because right now his numbers are ahead of Barry Bonds. However, when Barry Bonds went on the roid rage and he was hitting all them damn homers was very late in his career. So, like, right now he's going to have to go on a freaking real tear to keep pace and stay ahead of Bonds before he got to those 70 home runs and whatnot. Or he's just going to have to go on a run like that late in his career. And without steroids, I just don't see that happening. Dave Roberts pulls the pitcher out. Runners, let's see, 2 out. Runner at third. Evan Phillips enters the game. Let's see. Hold on. Let me get a couple more right here. Let's see. I'm jealous Rendon's meme. I've been single for 5 years. There you go. James says 34 homers for Simeon. Way above average for him. There you go. Thanks, James. Kurt Castle is being like the Angels, looking like pitches right down the middle of the strike zone. That is, yeah, it's pretty sick. 3-2 count. Yeah, now they're going to the top of the 11th. There we go. We need a nickname for Marsh and Adele. 1-2 punch. I do like Caveman. Roger Lodge literally has nothing to lose. There it is. Halo fan Steven says, I predict the Angels will get a shortstop and pitchers next season. The collective thoughts will be who? Yeah, I think that it really was going to come down to that. Also, Anthony Henson says, I have a group of tickets for Fan Appreciation Day on the 25th, Section 102. Holler at your boy if you're down. Let's do a tailgate, too. So you guys heard that. Anthony Henson over there is putting it out there under Just Another Halo Victory page on Facebook. Check them out. He's got some tickets, so yeah, hit him up. I probably would do the same thing right there because I would like to do it. We had a really good tailgate on the 14th. Jose 0-2 Iglesias. That is true. Let's see, top of the 11th right there going in the Dodger game. Yvette says they need a good utility players like Chris Bryant. It's hard to believe you're thinking Chris Bryant with utility, but he can play everywhere. And unfortunately, with Rendon back, I don't know. Everyone heard Todd say Trout should use a huge amount of steroids, right? Hey, if he can get away with it, why not, right? You're not cheating if you're trying. I think that was the moniker earlier in the show. But I'm telling you, again, check on Anthony. He's got some tickets. DM him or whatever. Find him over on Facebook, Anthony Henson Jr. I forgot. Give me your name on Instagram, Anthony, so I could put that out there, too, if they want to hit you up for that. 102 is a good section at the Big A. And if anyone would know, Ace would. I really wish Ace would be in charge of hiring and firing. I want to give her Dennis Kuhl's job because I think she could find the right staff to come in here and keep these guys from tearing hamstrings and growings and all this other stupid crap that happens only to the Angels. Because right now I think we're down to 14 injuries currently on the Major League roster. We were at 16, and that was number 1 in all of baseball. because the league average right now is 7 injuries per team. You had some teams that there was only one other team that had double digits, and I'm thinking it was the Cardinals or Padres had 11. Other than that, the Angels were just ahead of everybody. So it's just Anthony Henson Sr. So look up Anthony Henson Sr. on Instagram if you're looking for tickets for Section 102, which is a hella good area, like Ace said. And join us under the Big A, because if we're going to do a fan appreciation tailgate, there's going to be food, there's going to be good hangout, cool people, music, and raffles like we did on the 14th. So we'll keep that in mind there. That will be a Saturday too. Let's see. Matt Bedingo says if you're going to the game, say hi to him. He'll be there on Saturday. So that's cool right there. Juan Garcia faces Corey Seager right now. Let's see. Ohtani should learn another position during the offseason to play interleague baseball. That was the thing that I think that was lost in translation. Tailgate podcast could be the thing to do, Anthony. We did that impromptu thing with Trent Rush, so maybe we're going to do something else there. That would be pretty cool, and get some fans on there and get their perspectives as we close out the 2021 season, which is weird to say because this season, on one of my final thoughts here I'll say is, it's felt like 2 seasons rolled into one. It's been a long-ass season with a lot of things going on, a lot of drama, a lot of disheartening things, and a lot of good things. But then it just seems like every time you get on a high watching this team, they kick you in the balls or whatever organ you have down there. It just sucks. So we've seen the potential in what they could do, and then they regress. So right when we think they turn the corner, they don't. So it's one of those seasons where you just want to just turn the page and you want to look forward to the off season. But then we got the Skag stuff. Hopefully that gets dealt with in a proper way. And then we can get into a season to where we're looking really good and we have a healthy team and we can actually take a real legitimate shot at this without going through injuries and saying, well, if this didn't happen, that didn't happen. No, let's actually play with a full deck of cards. Let's make some good moves in the offseason, trades if we have to, and get prepped for a good season. Make sure these guys are all stretched out and ready to go. Let's have a power lineup out there for the first time. Let's utilize these young pitchers and throw that ace to go along with Ohtani. Have a 1-2 punch for the first time in a very long time. Let's get some excitement back at the Big A. Let's bring the fans in, and because we know how good this fan base can be. I don't get upset the way the fans have been this year, either not attending because of either COVID reactions or because the fact the team has been bad. I give them a hard pass because normally this fan base is very, very loyal, but you cannot blame them, whether it's things that are happening with a shot and all that other stuff. People are still scared, or the fact that if you want to say it's all because of the product on the field. I really don't give them too much crap. It's just, hey, you know what? Let's take another shot at this next year. We got a GM that's going into his second year. He's completing his first year. We're going to see what he does in free agency to help this team get going, because the moves he made was out of desperation this offseason because he got on the team late. You can't expect a GM just to give him the keys to the car when half the guys on the board are gone already. So he tried his best. But I really think this is going to be the offseason of Perry Manassian. I have a lot of faith in this guy. I think he's going to turn this team around. So we'll see. We will see what happens. Alex Leon says Reed Detmers. He got an autograph. He messaged me. He got one from Reed Detmers. So I told him, hold on to that ball, man. We'll know in 4 years how much that ball will be worth. But he's a good guy, man, and I think that pitcher is going to be really good. So we'll see. So let's see. I think that's it for tonight. I'll be back tomorrow with the post game on the Rangers. It's hard to believe we are in the final month of the 2021 season, and boy, has it been a roller coaster. It's been very frustrating at times, but we're hoping that everything turns around. So once again, check out the tailgate by hitting up Anthony Henson Sr. if you're looking for tickets on Instagram or on Facebook. So there you go, Section 102. We'll get the deets with that. And enjoy your weekend. This is Labor Day weekend, people. Enjoy it. And hopefully the Angels can give you some W's and something to talk about. Let's get some more victories for this squad as we move forward. So, Anthony Henson, you do the same. Stay up, everyone. Have a nice night. Laugh